As they make their way around, they will have this next time by to get the green flag. All right, here we go. They're lined up side by side. And 100 laps of competition for the Easy Auto and Newport News late model stock cars. Greg Edwards, the 97.3, the Eagle Machine on the front row on the pole. Leads Nick Smith, Mark Wirtz, Brandon Godovic, Danny Edwards, and the rest of the field. Greg with a good bite at the exit of turn number 2. Mark Wirtz also with a good start. He's trying to take the second position away from Nick Smith in the 18. Great battle for that second spot, but Mark Wirtz is going to win it. But here goes Nick Smith, dives underneath Mark Wirtz for that second spot again. Mark now caught on the outside. Nick Smith is going to take that position back. Mark falls in line just ahead of Danny Edwards in fourth. Sparks fly off the bottom of C.E. Falk's machine as he gets into the back end of the 26 of Danny Edwards. Gives him a shove at the exit of 2. And again, all over the back rear end of Danny Edwards' machine is C.E. Falk, followed by Brandon Godovic, Casey Wyatt. Godovic, Casey Wyatt, the 95 of Shane Lockhart right there together, nose to tail. And again, Danny Edwards gets a shot from C.E. Falk. That fourth position being challenged by C.E. Greg Edwards takes off, though. He's got about 7 to 8 car lengths ahead of Nick Smith in the 97-3 Eagle Ride up front, flying high. Casey Wyatt trying to close in on Brandon Godovic's Aquos Communications machine. Meanwhile, C.E. Falk continues to hound the back end of the 26 of Danny Edwards for that fourth position. Again, he gets into him between 3 and 4. Looks on the inside. C.E. Falk now dives on the inside of Danny Edwards, makes a little contact again as they head down the back straightaway. Greg Edwards with a very comfortable lead. 6 to 7 car lengths ahead of Nick Smith. Same distance back to Mark Wirtz in third, having a great run tonight. Then it's Danny Edwards with a mirror full of C.E. Falk and also a mirror full Brandon Godovic. Casey Wyatt into the 46 of Brandon Godovic, who spins around. He comes to a stop. Caution flag is out. Brandon Godovic came down the racetrack a little bit and was trying to block the progress of Casey Wyatt. Casey came to a stop, trying to stay off of him. Got as low as he could on the racetrack to avoid the contact with the 46 of Brandon Godovic. Doesn't look like there's too much damage on the 29. All right, Russ, thank you. Getting set to go back to the race in action with Greg Edwards, the 97.3, the Eagle Machine, looking good. New sponsorship showing them proud tonight as he hangs tough up front. The 18, Nick Smith, Mark Wirtz, Danny Edwards, C.E. Falk when they go back to green next time by. Toyota Tundra pace truck about to come into the pits. Have to pick up the pace a little bit on the back straightaway. They get them all lined up side by side. Cone rule in effect. Casey Wyatt chooses to take advantage of that. So does Brandon Godovic. And a new rule this year, if you're spin or you're caught up in the caution, you can take the cone to the outside unless you are the lucky dog. When you get your lap back. We're back underway. Greg Edwards taking the green flag again on lap 8 as we restart this race. C.E. Falk gets underneath Danny Edwards for that fourth position. He'd been trying it. Now Danny Edwards gets to return the favor and eat up the back bumper of C.E. Falk if he can catch him. Brandon Godovic. And there is the 41 of Wesley Falk. They battle it out along with Casey Wyatt on the back straightaway. Up front, though, the 97 machine leads again. Casey Wyatt on the outside of Wesley Falk as they battle side by side between turns 1 and 2. Wesley down low, Casey on the high side in car 29. He lets Wesley get that position. Now he's got a challenge by the inside. Terry Carroll looking to make the pass, but Casey stays ahead. About a half a car length, 11 laps completed. Greg Edwards about 5 car lengths ahead of the 18 of Nick Smith. Nick hanging right with him this time, though. A little bit better than he was on the first round of runs in the first 8 laps. Field gets strung out just a bit, trying to calm their nerves just a little bit and settle down. Being told by the spotters, let's just get some laps in. This is a long race. We're trying to get to lap 100. There's only 13 completed. The 97.3, the Eagle Machine. Greg Edwards showing the way. Nick Smith in second. C.E. Falk third. Mark Wertz back to fourth. Danny Edwards in fifth. Shane Lockhart, the 95 car, sixth. Seventh, Brandon Godovic. And eighth, Wesley Falk. Casey Wyatt, ninth, trying to work his way back up. Terry Carroll, the 10th position in the 90. Dwayne Shreves in 38. Jeff Shiflett in the 10. J.T. Jackson in 67. And Jeremy Grog. The two cars out, Robbie Babin, the 21 backup, and the 40 backup of Sam Hunt. Sam, a regular in the K&N Series, running for the Rookie of the Year. Got his car out here in the 22 machine. Back to this race, the 46 and 41 going at it. Brandon Godovic and the 41 of Wesley Falk. Wesley again trying to look on the inside of Brandon Godovic. Brandon staying as low as he can on the racetrack. He did the same thing to Casey and ended up getting spun. Let's see if it happens again. I think Brandon wants these guys to go around on the outside, but they don't see it that way. Wesley Falk again trying to get by the 46 of Brandon Godovic. Gives him a tap here between 3 and 4, just like Casey was doing. Casey staying glued to the back end of that 41 of Wesley Falk. C.E. Falk, meanwhile, back in the third spot. His brother just ahead of Mark Wertz and Danny Edwards back in fifth. Here he goes again. Wesley's going to try it, and this time Brandon Godovic gives him room. And Wesley's going to get by. Now Casey will try and come up and do the same thing as Godovic is on the outside. He knows he's got a car to his inside. And Casey this time makes the pass, makes it clean. 83 going very slow on the racetrack. Jeremy Grog out here trying to get some good laps in at Langley, gaining some valuable experience. 20 laps into a 100-lap event as the 97.3, the Eagle car, is up front and in the lead. I don't think anybody out here at Langley Speedway is any happier than Greg Edwards. Got his main sponsor back that he had when he won a couple of championships. About, well, it was back in the late 90s that he had the 97.3, the Eagle sponsorship. Was able to team back up with those folks and do them proud so far as he continues to lead here on lap 23. Greg Edwards, Nick Smith, C.E. Falk, Mark Wertz, and Danny Edwards top 5. Followed by Shane Lockhart, the 95, Wesley Falk in 41, followed closely by Casey Wyatt, about a half a car length back. Brandon Godovic, then Terry Carroll, Jeff Shiflett, Dwayne Shreves, J.T. Jackson, Jeremy Grog. Looks like Casey had a fast car earlier in the race. He's closing back in on the 41 of Wesley Falk as they battle for that 7th position. And there is the leader, the 97.3, the Eagle Machine, Greg Edwards. A couple of these late model drivers still working on their automobiles, trying to get out here for the next race we have, which are twin 50s in 2 weeks. Greg Edwards, once again the leader of this race, driving the Chevrolet Impala from Pocosin. 97.3 the Eagle, Danny's Glass, CBX Modular Homes, Browers Mechanical, Crossroads Fuel, NC Realty, and RaceRap.com. 83 car going very slow on the racetrack, like we said before. Jeremy Grog and the two top guys get around him. Nick Smith makes it past. Nick Smith having a very good run again tonight in that 18 machine. Nice looking paint scheme as he tries to close in on Greg. He's about 7 to 8 car lengths back now. Make it 6 car lengths as he closes in. Mark Wertz has been consistently in the top 5 tonight. Just outside the top 5, that battle rages on between Wesley Falk and Casey Wyatt. 95 machine, Shane Lockhart, new paint scheme for him this year, as he is currently in 6th behind Danny Edwards. Then a great battle rages on once again between Casey Wyatt and Wesley Falk, the 41 and the 29. Now between turns 1 and 2. Casey again closing in on the back bumper of the 41 of Wesley Falk. He's getting through the middle of the turns quite better than the 41 of Wesley Falk. 31 laps completed, and everybody's surprised in the 40 C.E. Falk that he's not up there in the lead. But I think a lot of these other competitors are happy about that because he has been smoking them up out here at Langley. 12 wins last year, won the championship again. Wesley Falk, that battle between him and Casey, he's pulled a little bit ahead as they worked some of the lap traffic. Trying to close in and challenge for that 7th spot. Danny Edwards looks like he's closing in on the 55 of Mark Wirtz. I think Danny let his tires cool off a little bit, backed it up a little bit, and now he might mount a challenge for that 4th position on the 55 of Mark Wirtz, the Dunkin' Donuts number 55. Terry Carroll, his car seems to spark a little bit in between the turns, bottoming out a little bit as he closes in on the 46. And that is for 9th position, Brandon Godovic in the 46, Equus Communications machine. Danny Edwards again trying to mount a challenge on the 55 of Mark Wirtz for 4th position. Greg Edwards with a lot of traffic just ahead. Our leader is coming in on some slower cars, Dwayne Shreves. 37 laps completed. The 10 and the 38 going at it. Jeff Shiflett and Dwayne Shreves just ahead of our leader, Greg Edwards. They're racing side by side. Dwayne on the inside of the 10 of Jeff Shiflett. Makes the pass, and now Greg has got to be a little bit nervous trying to get around these slower cars as they are lined up side by side. Gets around the 83, Jeremy Grog. Now tries to get past the 10 of Jeff Shiflett. Is he going to go to the outside or the inside? Looks like he might have to go, well, he's going to try it on the inside. Almost slipped at the exit of turn 4. Shiflett comes down the racetrack a little bit, trying to avoid going a lap down, but it has happened. Meanwhile, a great battle between the 41 and 29, Casey White and Wesley Falk, as Greg works the lap traffic here. Now at the exit of turn 2, Casey White dives on the inside of the 41 of Wesley Falk, and again between turns 3 and 4. Casey White doing all he can to stay off the back end and the inside of the 41. Doesn't want to be penalized. Has to be very careful around Wesley Falk. But he is a little bit faster and trying to make that move. Meanwhile, Nick Smith having a problem getting by Jeff Shiflett, and the 90 machine of Terry Carroll, the lap cars, are about... oh no, they're about to wreck as Nick Smith tries to make the pass on Jeff Shiflett. He does make it past. Danny Edwards still closing in on the back end of the 55 of Mark Wirtz. '97.3, the Eagle machine. Greg Edwards on the inside of the 38 of Dwayne Shreves. He now goes a lap down. Brandon Godovic, who's up there in 9th position, about to go a lap down. So Greg has lapped everybody up into the top 9. Brandon Godovic now goes a lap down. And Dwayne Shreves working on the back end of the 46 as they battle for the 9th position. .46 laps completed, 4 laps away from halfway. C.E. Falk has not been in the top 3 until about 20-some laps ago. Had a hard time getting started, did not qualify that well. And a crash, a smoker, not a crash. It is the 83, whose looks like engine has let go. Jeremy Grog brings out the caution flag here on lap 48. Our second caution flag tonight. Easy Auto and Newport News late model stock cars We appreciate Henry Jones sponsoring this division this year. 97.3, the Eagle Ride has been up front all race long. And here on lap 47, he will continue to lead over Nick Smith, C.E. Falk, Mark Wirtz, and Danny Edwards in the top 5. See if he can get his car going a little bit faster, because there were some of those cars he was having a hard time passing that at the beginning of the race he was much faster than according to the speed. 1 lap to go. Anybody choosing to use the cone? Yes. Look who it's going to be next to Greg Edwards. C.E. Falk, the man who's got the most wins in the past 3 years at Langley Speedway. He'll be right next to Greg Edwards, the 97.3, the Eagle Ride. And we're really going to see what Greg is made of and what C.E. Falk is made of as they go back to green. Danny Edwards also choosing to use the cone and go to the outside of Nick Smith. Here we go, back to green flag racing. Greg Edwards gets a good start. He's on the bottom of the racetrack, and he will take the lead back as C.E. Falk falls back in line in second. Comes up, gives Greg a little bit of a nudge between turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, it's the 55 of Mark Wirtz down on the inside of Danny Edwards Jr. as the battle rages on up front, and Greg is able to hold off the challenge of C.E. Falk a car length ahead. Meanwhile, Casey Wyatt comes back and challenges the 38 of Dwayne Shreves for position, and he's got 8th. The 95 machine of Shane Lockhart on the inside, battling with Wesley Falk. Halfway sign has gone up, and we're halfway through this race. Wesley Falk on the outside of Shane Lockhart. Shane's going to take that position away. Wesley falls back in line, tries to challenge on the outside. There's no room for him. He falls back behind the 95. Then you've got Casey Wyatt and the 38, Dwayne Shreves. Danny Edwards and Mark Wirtz with a good battle for that third, make it 4th position. 3rd spot being held by Nick Smith. C.E. Falk just ahead in 2nd, and Greg Edwards continues to lead in the 97.3, the Eagle machine. Terry Carroll in the 10 machine of Jeff Shiflett battling for the 11th spot. Meanwhile, Brandon Godovic trying to get back into the race. He's back there trying to challenge the 67 of J.T. Jackson. .53 laps completed. Greg Edwards, C.E. Falk, Nick Smith, Mark Wirtz, Danny Edwards the top 5, followed by Shane Lockhart, Wesley Falk, Casey Wyatt, Brandon Godovic, Dwayne Shreves, then Jeff Shiflett, Terry Carroll, J.T. Jackson, the cars left in this race. Again, Terry Carroll trying to get on the inside of the 10 of Jeff Shiflett. The battle is for 11th. Again, Terry Carroll tries to get on the inside of Jeff Shiflett, the current orthopedic machine, and wiggles a little bit. Made a little bit of contact with Jeff Shiflett. Jeff on the outside of Terry Carroll, followed by Brandon Godovic. Terry makes the pass. Danny Edwards, Danny's glass ride all over the back end of that Dunkin' Donuts 55 of Mark Wirtz. Mark Wirtz, Virginia Beach driver with a few championships of his own out here at Langley Speedway in the late model division. And he stays ahead of Danny for the minute. That is the biggest battle on the racetrack between the 55 and the 26. Danny with a few championships of his own, too, in the 26. Some of the best out here at Langley Speedway and on the East Coast. You always find these drivers in the top 100 of the late model drivers all around the country. And they're showing you why. Very professional. They give each other a lot of room, race each other as clean as they possibly can, unless the tempers fly a little bit, which is known to happen, and they get a little more aggressive. 40 laps to go for Greg Edwards. put out the caution flag because we got us a spin over there in turn 3. And it is the 67 of J.T. Jackson who takes an innocent spin. Should be a relatively quick caution flag. All right, 1 to go. Next time, or this time, as the 18 Nick Smith is going to go up on the outside. Dwayne Shreves gets the lucky pass. Danny Edwards again is going to be on the outside of C.E. Falk when we go back to green flag racing. 41 Wesley Falk and the 46 of Brandon Godovic also chooses to go to the outside, and he'll be on the outside of the 95 of Shane Lockhart. All right, Toyota Tundra about to come down pit road. Here we go on lap 61 for the restart. Dwayne Shreves rejoins the rear of the field and is back on the lead lap. Back underway, Greg Edwards again gets a good start, trying to hang tough, but here goes C.E. looking on the inside of Greg Edwards, challenging for the lead on the back straightaway into turn 3. Greg caught on the outside. Greg Edwards, the 97.3, the Eagle car, trying to hang tough on the outside of C.E. Falk. Nick Smith is there in the 18, waiting to see who to follow. For the minute, C.E. Falk is going to pull halfway ahead of Greg Edwards. There's a slower car just ahead, the 10 of Jeff Shiflett. Greg looks like he wants to get back on the inside of the racetrack. He might be able to make the pass on C.E. Falk if he can get there. C.E. unable to pull away from Greg. Greg keeps him right in his sights. Great racing here at Langley Speedway as C.E. Falk now takes the lead over Greg Edwards. Greg back to second, Nick Smith third, the 55 Mark Wirtz, 41 Wesley Falk, then it's Danny Edwards. Danny followed by the 95 Shane Lockhart, 29 Casey Wyatt, 46 Brandon Godovic. Terry Carroll next in line as he goes to the outside of Jeff Shiflett. Then it's Dwayne Shreves and J.T. Jackson. Dwayne Shreves trying to get on the inside of the 10 of Jeff Shiflett. Jeff not letting him though. Jeff back in 12th and a lap down. Greg Edwards keeping C.E. Falk right in his sights, only a car length behind. And closes in on the back bumper again. Greg is really serious about getting that lead back and winning this race. C.E. Falk has dominated the past 3 years at Langley Speedway. A lot of these drivers have done their homework, just like Greg Edwards, who closes in again on the back bumper of C.E. Falk to challenge him and take that lead back. These two cars about 10 car lengths ahead of the 18 of Nick Smith back in the third spot. Then it's Mark Wirtz hanging tough again tonight up there in the top 5. Wesley Falk all in the top 5. Danny Edwards, Shane Lockhart, Casey Wyatt, Brandon Godovic, and Dwayne Shreves in the top 10. Casey Wyatt trying to challenge the 95 of Shane Lockhart for that 7th position now. Looks on the inside, down the front straightaway. Gets to his rear quarter panel now at the exit of turn number 2. Pulls up halfway next to the 95 Shane Lockhart. Shane gives him room, moves up the racetrack, and here goes Casey on the bottom. Side by side and door to door as they battle for that 7th position, and Casey takes it away. C.E. Falk still continues to lead about a car length ahead of Greg Edwards. Greg closes in the turns quite a bit, especially in the center of the turn, and at the exit tries to gain some ground. Sparks coming out of the back end of Greg Edwards' machine a little bit. And some smoke on the 55 of Mark Wirtz on the left front. And the car leans over a little bit. That's Mark Wirtz in the 55 Dunkin' Donuts ride. Meanwhile, here goes Greg Edwards mounting a challenge for the lead on C.E. Falk. Setting him up for a pass. Looking on the inside of the exit of turn 2. Follows his tire tracks now between 3 and 4, slides it sideways, gets a little loose between 3 and 4 that time. Lost a little bit of ground to CE at that slip. Still seeing a little bit of smoke coming out of the 55 of Mark Wirtz as he's being challenged by Wesley Falk in the 41. Wesley Falk now to the inside of Mark Wirtz. Meanwhile, the challenge and the battle rages on for the lead. Wesley Falk and Danny Edwards trying to make the pass on Wirtz. Looks like his car is going away a little bit. Meanwhile, the 97.3, the Eagle machine of Greg Edwards challenging the Hampton Roads Toyota, number 40 of CE Falk for the lead. And a little bit of contact made. CE was sideways that time at the exit of turn 4. Closing in on the lap machine of JT Jackson. Greg hangs right with CE Falk. Meanwhile, Wesley Falk, he's come to life as he challenges Nick Smith for that third spot. This is getting good with the laps winding down. 21 laps to go, and Greg Edwards trying to catch CE to take that win away. Meanwhile, Danny Edwards battling with the 18. Nick Smith, his car is going away a little bit as Wesley Falk has been able to make the pass and take over the third spot. Nick Smith now being challenged by Danny, and Danny does take the spot. He's in fourth. Nick Smith back to fifth. Mark Wirtz now challenging the 18 of Nick Smith for the fifth position. And there's Casey White all over the back end of the number 55. Meanwhile, CE with a handful of Greg Edwards. He gets him loose, makes the pass on the back straightaway, pulls halfway ahead, and takes the lead. CE gives him a nudge between 3 and 4. Greg's able to escape and take the lead and continue to maintain it. Now CE again tries to get on the inside and give Greg a nudge again on the back straightaway. Couldn't quite catch him that time, but again closes up on the back end and gets Greg loose. Greg doing all he can to stay ahead of CE Falk after he was very patient, made the pass, made a clean pass on the 40 of CE Falk after he got him a little bit loose. And now he's got about a car length advantage over CE Falk in the lead. Greg Edwards, CE Falk, Wesley Falk, Danny Edwards, Mark Wirtz, the top 5. Then Casey Wyatt, Shane Lockhart, Nick Smith, Brandon Godovic, Dwayne Shreves, Terry Carroll, Jeff Shiflett. What a great race between these two tonight. CE trying to regain his ground and be the king dog out here at Langley Speedway, but Greg says not so fast. I got some feathers I want to fly. The 97.3, the Eagle car out front. 2.5 car lengths now make it 3 to 4 ahead of CE Falk. Casey Wyatt, they were able to make some repairs on that automobile. He's closing in on Mark Wirtz, trying to take that position away. And that is for 5th. Meanwhile, there's Brandon Godovic on the inside of the 18 of Nick Smith. Nick has been in the top 2 most of the race, but has fallen like a rock in the past 10 laps. This has been a great late model stock car race. I'm glad you fans hung around for this one. It's been outstanding since the drop of the green flag. There's the 46. Brandon Godovic, he makes the pass on Nick Smith in the 18, and he will move up into the 8th position. Terry Carroll now, the 90 machine, also trying to make a move. The Carroll's Automotive machine. Caution flag is out for a spin. Looks like Dwayne Shreves at the bottom of turn number 2, the reason for the caution flag. And 89 laps completed. How about that race between Greg Edwards and CE Falk? That's some good stuff. 88 laps now showing up in lights. We will have just a few laps to go here. 12 laps. Dwayne Shreves, the reason for the most recent caution flag. Anything going on down in the pits, Russ?
Yes, there is. In fact, the car number 55, Mark Wirtz, obviously the crowd, and you have seen this coming out of the back end of it. Crew growing more and more concerned as laps go on, as the smoke seems to be getting more and more every single lap. So the crew definitely concerned about the number 55 car on this play, currently scored in your 5th spot. Shiflett's been to the pits a couple times, but it looks like just a toe adjustment on that machine. He's back out on the speedway. That's what's going on down here on pit road. Back up to you, Mike, in the tower.
All right, Russ, doing a great job for us tonight. Russ Wild.
Entering turn number 1, told his crew that he was real loose, came down on the pit road, wedge adjustment for that number 18, and he's back out onto the speedway. Back up to you, Art.
All right, Russ, thank you. Once again, we've got Mark Wirtz with a lot of smoke coming out of the back end of that 55 machine. They're keeping an eye on it. 1 lap to go. Who's going to use the outside? Well, look at this. Wesley Falk is going to get up there and get a little piece of the action tonight. Casey Wyatt as well. He's going to try it on the outside. And Dwayne Shreves brought out the caution flag. He's back underway, and he also looks like might have gone to the outside for the cone rule, along with Brandon Godovic. The 95, Shane Lockhart. Pace truck about to come in the final 12 laps of the race. Who's it going to be? The 97.3, the Eagle car. Greg Edwards showing the way again. Greg again tries to stay ahead of C.E. Falk, who nudges underneath. Greg tries to get him loose at the exit of turn 2. Greg's being very careful, but C.E. gives him a nudge, gets him a little bit sideways between 3 and 4. Spins him out in the exit of 4. C.E. Falk spins Greg Edwards out. He gets a little piece of the wall, but not much. 89 laps completed. C.E. Falk spins out Greg Edwards here on lap 89. What a big turn of events. Some damage on that left rear end. "41 is your leader," they say. That's Wesley Falk. 40 goes to the rear of the field. C.E. Falk will be heading to the rear of the field after rough driving with Greg Edwards. And says, "Hey, how you doing?" Yep, we're about to see some more fireworks before the end of this night. Maybe after the race is done too, who knows? 88 laps completed as they go back to lap number 88. Now 1 lap to go. Who's going to use the cone? Mark Wirtz. Shane Lockhart. The 18. Greg Edwards, the 97. And C.E. in the 40. Light is out on the pace truck. Adrenaline flowing through the veins of these drivers. Gripping that steering wheel tight, making sure the belts are ready to go and tighten those up. A lot of smoke out of the back end of Mark Wirtz as we are set to go back to green. There's the green flag. Wesley Falk leads the field down. Got them tightly bunched between turns 1 and 2. Almost 3 wide that time. Casey thought about it, but backed out of it. Danny Edwards now looking on the inside of Mark Wirtz for that second spot. And a spin by the 90 of Terry Carroll is going to bring out the caution flag. Innocent spin by the 90 of Terry Carroll. This will be a relatively quick caution flag, and we will have 11 laps to go. And he will have to go around because he gets the lucky dog pass. And who uses the cone? Nobody. Well, the 95, Shane Lockhart's going to do it. So is Brandon Godovic and the 18, Nick Smith. Greg Edwards is going to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. C.E. Falk is going to get up there and try it on the outside. Terry Carroll also on the outside, using the cone rule to his advantage. Brought out the most recent caution flag. And here we go, 88 laps completed, 12 laps to go again. We'll try it again as the green flag flies in the breeze at Langley. Our opening night and the Easy Auto and Newport News late model stock cars. A lot of action in this race, and it continues. Danny Edwards down on the inside fighting with Shane Lockhart for that second spot. Meanwhile, here goes the 55 Mark Wirtz and Casey Wyatt. To the outside, Brandon Godovic in 46 and Nick Smith in the 18. 95 into Danny a little bit for that second spot. Danny takes it though. 3 wide. That ain't gonna work. But it does. Great job of driving by these guys. Casey Wyatt made it 3 wide. Brandon Godovic was on the outside. Mark works the meat and the sandwich. Shane Lockhart, he slips up at the exit of turn 2. His car got sideways. He goes back 2 positions to 5th. And C.E. Falk sticks his nose underneath the 95 of Shane Lockhart, now making a move. Terry Carroll challenging the 38 of Dwayne Shreves between turns 3 and 4 as we get down to the end of this race. 8 laps to go. And a big smoke comes out of the back end of the 55. And looks like the 18, Nick Smith, got into it. He spins around, brings out the caution flag. And whatever was smoking on Mark Wert's machine completely let go. And Mark Wert's just ahead of Nick Smith when that happened. And Nick got into whatever it was that was laid down on the racetrack and spins around. They'll check the racetrack, get it cleaned up, and we'll be back underway. Greg Edwards takes advantage of this caution to go to work on his automobile to try and get that machine fixed after he and C.E. Falk got involved in that earlier accident. Also, Nick Smith comes into the pits, and they're going to make sure that his car is all right. Some amazing action out here in the late model stock car division tonight. And let's go down to the pits.
And Mike, sorry to butt in like this, but it does look like a small flame underneath of Nick Smith's machine as they're trying to investigate that, but definitely something ablaze underneath the hood of that number 18 of Nick Smith as they try to look over that. Meanwhile, the number 55 Dunkin' Donuts sponsored machine looks like he finally went up in smoke going into turn number 1. Looks like his night is over, but Greg Edwards still in the pits, getting a new tire on the left rear of that machine as they try to fix his car as well. Back up to you, Mike, in the tower.
Excellent, Russ. Thank you. Appreciate the insight over there in the pits. Russ Wiles doing a great job tonight keeping us informed on what's going on with the drivers. And once again, those drivers that have made it into the pits this last time include the Mark Wertz number 55, the reason for the big explosion and the smoke. Greg Edwards making some adjustments from that earlier wreck and trying to get Greg into a top finishing position if they can pull that off. And also Nick Smith. And like he said, there was something burning underneath the hood on the number 18.
Nick Smith now going back out onto the racetrack as crew dumped Dr. Pepper on it. So if you smell Dr. Pepper in the grandstands, that's because that's what's underneath Nick Smith's hood. Fire is now out, and he's back out on the racetrack as he tries to finish all 100 laps out here at Langley Speedway. Let's go back up to you, Mike Allen, for the finish.
Dr. Pepper, a water, whatever it takes. All right, thanks a lot, Russ. All right, we've had a couple of cars choose to go to the outside and use the cone rule. Greg Edwards able to make it back out there and see what he can do. As his crew has done an excellent job to get his car repaired enough to end this race. And here we go. Back underway. Green flag is out. Wesley Falk being challenged. And here it is on the outside of the racetrack. Number 46, Brandon Godovic. Challenging for the lead with Wesley Falk. Danny Edwards with his hands full of the 40 of C.E. Falk and the 29 of Casey Wyatt. Casey up next to and door to door with C.E. Falk as they battle for that 4th position. Danny Edwards challenging the 46 of Brandon Godovic for the 2nd spot. Side-by-side race continues between Casey and C.E. Meanwhile, Brandon Godovic slips between turns 1 and 2. Danny tried to take advantage of it, but falls back in line. C.E. caught on the outside. Gets past Casey. He's up to 4th. Casey back in line. They are bumping in nose to tail at the exit of 2. C.E. Falk was all into the back end of the 26 of Danny Edwards. And again, gives him a nudge, but he gets a nudge from Casey. Came down on the bottom of the racetrack, and Casey's front end was right there. They challenged again for that 4th position. Shane Lockhart falls back a little bit in the 95 machine as Dwayne Shreves dives underneath. There's action all over the racetrack. There's the 97 machine, Eagle, and Greg making the pass. "97 laps completed. Wesley Falk looking for his first victory since last year in the number 41. And the 18, Nick Smith, his car has finally given up. He takes it behind the wall. White flag is out for Wesley Falk, looking for victory at Langley Speedway. Wesley Falk, Brandon Godovic, Danny Edwards, C.E. Falk, and Casey Wyatt. Casey continues to battle with C.E. for that fourth position. Then it's Terry Carroll, Dwayne Shreves, Shane Lockhart, Greg Edwards, Jeff Shiflett. But here is the checkered flag for Wesley Falk, who wins. Wesley Falk wins over Brandon Godovic. Danny Edwards with a top 3 finish. C.E. Falk finishes 4th ahead of Casey Wyatt. Terry Carroll, Dwayne Shreves, Shane Lockhart, Greg Edwards finishes 9th after leading most of the race. Jeff Shiflett in 10th. J.T. Jackson, the 67, 11th, followed by Nick Smith, Mark Wirtz with his engine problems, Jeremy Grogg, Robbie Babb, and Sam Hunt. But the winner of the race, 41, Wesley Falk. What a race to end the night with on our first night, opening up Langley Speedway season for 2012. And a lot of action, some hot tempers, and some definite feelings hurt tonight. Wesley Falk, once again, the winner of the race tonight for the Easy Auto and Newport News late model stock cars. The winner of the race, Wesley Falk, makes the parade lap. Avalon Fishing Pier, Acredale Vending and Coffee Service, and Racing Electronics sponsoring the winning race car tonight, Wesley Falk at Langley Speedway. All right, let's go down trackside. Russ Wiles is waiting for the arrival of Wesley Falk.
Thank you so much, Mike, Al, and crew. Very excited about Wes Falk pulling it down here in Victory Lane in his Toyota Camry. You saw the fist come out of the window right after he took that checkered flag, and Wes Falk. And as Chuck Hall pointed out earlier, Wes Falk, a proven winner, WKA champion, and now your winner of your opening night down here at Langley Speedway. Here the number 41. Getting the Haas device off. Folks, let's hear it. Here's your winner. Well, thought he was coming out. Here he is, folks. Wesley Falk here in Victory Lane at Langley Speedway. Wes, what an awesome run, man. You really had to fight for that one. It really showed that you had it in you to complete this.
Oh, yeah. I drove my heart out from 9th all the way up to this lead. I just saw the 40 and 9th, see my brother and Greg just going at it, and I was like, just gotta wait. I know one was gonna mess up. Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait.
Well, right there on those few restarts, you had to be really anxious in the helmet. I mean, the whole pack was right there. A few fast drivers took the high side, including Mark Wirtz, whose engines didn't last, but you had to be really anxious.
Oh, I was like, can we get these cones out here quick? I was like, let's get this race over with. My spotter with 3 to go said, it's all you, baby. Just ride it out. Just save us whatever we got. I told him, I'm ending this.
For 100 laps, it has to be really taxing on you physically.
It's really hard. I'm working with a great trainer thanks to my parents, but I gotta thank my parents, mom, my dad, all my sponsors, Avalon Fishing Pier, Acredale Vending. Gotta thank my new spotter for the first race together. We get a win. It's pretty cool. Mason Dunn, Sammy Houston, Creech Motorsports, Star Graphics. Look at these decals. How cool is this looking car? It looks like a dirt car, and it's running fast as hell on asphalt.
Well, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time in Victory Lane, Mr. Wes Falk. And folks, I thank you.
Nope.
You must have a button on this thing. Want to thank you guys so much for having me out here at Langley Speedway. And Chuck, thank you so much for having me down here in Hampton again.
Well, I know you got to head out to the dirt next week, and it's dirt, you got to dig it, but give our best to Bill Sawyer and Dave C. Hey, race fans, don't forget, coming up next Saturday night, it's the Pepsi night at the races. Twin Modifieds. Man, you talk about explosive. It will be here next week. And then Carl's Racing Products will be the return of the Easy Auto in Newport News late models. That's going to be on April the 21st. So we'll do it again next Saturday night. Thanks for coming out and braving the cooler temperatures. Thanks to all of our race fans, our sponsors at Pomoco Auto Group. Good night, everybody, and happy Easter.